We are back 7:38 this morning on Today's Consumer, those rising consumer prices.
Yeah, everybody's still talking about the soaring cost of eggs and other staples, and it's led to a major dip in consumer confidence this month, the steepest that we've seen since 2021.
And adding to the concern, some items could get even more expensive next week if those tariffs on Canada and Mexico go into effect. So here to break it all down for us, NBC's senior business correspondent, Christine Romans.
Morning.
So let's start with what Carson just mentioned there. We've been talking about eggs for weeks now, the soaring cost of eggs in this country. You've got some news on that.
Yeah, brand new numbers from USDA, the Agriculture Department. They say egg prices will rise another 41% this year.
Wow.
In January, I told you they were forecasting a 20% rise in egg prices. Now it is 41%. And that's because the bird flu crisis is just not even close to being finished. This is something that we're a year away from having a solution there. So egg prices, that's the average for a dozen. If you live on either of the coasts, you've probably seen much higher prices than that. You've also seen some, you've probably seen some empty shelves. You've also seen some surcharges from Denny's and Waffle House. We heard yesterday from McDonald's insisting, assuring Americans it will not put a surcharge on its breakfast items. McDonald's saying, unlike others making news recently, you definitely won't see McDonald's USA issuing surcharges on eggs. So McDonald's will not get in the surcharge game.
What about beef? We're hearing a lot about beef and surging prices.
I know. Have you noticed? I mean, I went and bought a couple steaks last weekend, put them in the freezer, and they're now even more expensive right now.
They sell them on the black market.
Yeah, there you go. I can sell them to you, Craig. The sirloin steak price is $11.97 a pound. That is just a few cents shy of record highs. Ground beef prices, $5.55. They hit record highs last year. Looks like we're real close to being there again this year. And again, USDA, a more moderate increase, maybe 3 or 4% more this year. They're expecting prices to rise. You've got these herds that have been really stressed by extreme weather and drought. Now you've got bird flu that now is actually spreading to some cattle herds. So there's a couple of things happening here, but that has been a long time coming as well. All these fundamental reasons why beef prices are rising.
Yeah, well, add to that, there's grocery prices that people really feel every day. This potential of tariffs still hanging over, Canada, Mexico, and most experts say that will make prices go up right away.
So we've got some deadlines. You've got 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico that could go into effect next week. The president said he's on target with these tariffs. You've got steel and aluminum tariffs that go into effect March 12th. So what does that affect? The car industry. Tin cans, the cans you put your canned food in, washing machines, beer, tequila from Mexico. That's right. Avocados, maple syrup, obviously from Canada. Furniture, a lot of upholstered furniture comes from Canada as well. So that's one of these items that could get more expensive. So some producers will maybe eat a little bit of the cost, but much of that cost could be passed on to consumers, so those prices will increase.
And when you put a tariff on another country, the importer, the other country doesn't pay it,
the
but
consumer
importer,
does, right.
Exactly.
Seems like you have to start planning now for the next couple of years what you should buy sooner than later based on all of this.
If you have a car repair, I would say get a car repair. We talked to a lot of experts who say if you've got a car repair, do the car repair now because the parts will be more expensive. If you are on track to buy a new car, you should consider buying a new car if you can afford it and you need to do it now, because some forecasts show a new car could cost $3,000 more if all these tariffs go into effect. So those are the kinds of things you want to kind of game out. And again, furniture, if you're looking for an upholstered couch, maybe now is the time to buy that. Again, if it's in your budget and you need it now.
Anything we don't need to worry about stockpiling?
I don't think you should stockpile produce. I mean, if you buy a bunch of avocados, what's that going to do for you when they go bad, right? So produce is something you can't really stockpile. Don't buy things you don't need. There's no reason to be counterproductive and spend hard-earned money in your budget on stuff that maybe you think. So I'd be careful about the panic buying. And I think in the eggs, that's one of the reasons why prices have been going up. But consumers have been buying a lot of eggs. So just there's no need to have 4
Sometimes it exacstays it, right? If you start hoarding and panic buying.
It starts to worsen the shortages and the like,
Egg hike hurts. Steak hike, tragic.
Steak is non-negotiable in my house.
Me too.
It's like,
my house,
once a week we like to have a nice steak dinner.
You're hitting Carson right where he lives.
Right where
steak. Thank you so much.
Christine. Mr. Roker, what are we looking at, sir?
2 words: vacuum sealer. I'm telling you, you get something's on sale, you put it in that vacuum sealer, put it in the freezer. That's like money in the bank. Go ahead, laugh, but I'm telling you, and they are laughing. Anyway. Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.